spooky children, it's me Ghost Girl and I'm here with you guys for another video, and in today's video I'm going to be starting this makeup tutorial with the YSL All Hours Concealer. So I'm going to be picking up the story where I left off last time, which was I was basically talking about how I was having all these nightmares with these spirits that these people were sending my way, and one of the things that was also happening was, because I'm an astral traveller and I do travel, and when I was travelling I was getting attacked by these spirits while I was astral travelling, and basically me and my spirit guides were having to battle these big shadow monsters while I was astral travelling. And one dream that I quite remember in a lot of detail is I remember one time I was getting chased in the woods in this dream, and it was by this shadow creature, and I remember running and hiding into this kind of wooden shed / wooden hut, and then I remember this thing tried to attack me in the shed, and then I remember dreaming about the little white dog that I told you about in the last video, and this is actually how I found out that the little white dog was actually Belial. I remember the dog actually was barking and growling at this shadow creature, and then it shapeshifted into him, his true form, or at least how I identify him, and then all of a sudden I look to both sides of the shed, and there's all these creepy looking dolls, and then all the dolls start to come to life, which was really creepy. And I was expecting to get attacked by all these little creepy dolls, but instead of attacking me, they attacked the shadow creature. And I remember him telling me to get out, and then running out of what looked like a back door through what looked like a scene out of a forest fire. And I just remember seeing a car that looked like it had been very badly destroyed in a fire, and then I woke up after that. That I'll probably never forget that dream. It was just so crazy. And if you remember me talking about what I did in the last video, put wards and all that around my house, and black salt in the garden. Unfortunately, the black salt in the garden didn't really work. My own wards that I created did work, but I remember at night after I'd put the wards and everything down, the one of the shadow beasts came back to try and get to me, and it couldn't get into the house because I'd put the wards up, but it was in my garden, and I just remember hearing like these terrible, awful screams like banshee. And honestly, banshees are real, because if that thing can scream like that, then but that experience has convinced me that creatures like banshees are definitely real. And I remember the next morning after experiencing that, I then went and warded the garden, and I had to ward my garden and my house every 2 weeks for about 4 or 5 months, just to kind of stop it from coming in. And I was kind of hoping that the magic users that were sending this thing towards me would get bored by then and would leave me alone. Thankfully they did, but I had to get help from Spirit, because the next night it wasn't able to get into my house or in my garden, but from my window there's like the council car park where everyone like parks their cars at the back of my street, and it was in the car park, and I could hear that screaming again. And I thought, geez, don't tell me I'm gonna have to ward the council car park and all. I mean, it's high enough maintenance warding off the house and the garden every 2 weeks, never mind the house, garden and the council car park. But yeah, now that the concealer has been applied, I'm going to be applying the Stila Stay All Day foundation. But thankfully, the spirits that I work with kinda have been helping me out here with this thing. I looked out the window and looked at the council car park, and the next thing you know, Andreas was fighting this shadow thing in the council car park. And this is going to sound really far-fetched, and if you're not clairvoyant and you don't have these experiences, or you've never had these experiences, you might think I sound completely insane. But next thing I know is all these like shadow creatures were like appearing in the council car park, and literally it was like something out of a Clash of the Titans or like a Greek mythology movie or something. Just watching all these spirits like battle out against this shadow creatures. And I just remember like looking out the window and one of my spirit guides telling me to keep away from the window and not to let the shadow things see me. Although I did have wards like around my house, so like I didn't really think it would matter if one of them saw me because it couldn't get in anyway. But yeah, I kept away from the window, and the past 3 nights I was having to sleep with headphones in, because it was so insane. Like I just wouldn't have been able to get any sleep at all if it went for headphones. But I'd like to kind of thank a lot of my spirit guides if they're here and they can hear me and see everything that's going on, for protecting me, and thanking all the spirits that I work with, all the deities, for protecting me, especially Isabella, Adriana, Lilith and Belial and Andreas for protecting me in that situation, and just everything that they've done in the past and what they're doing right now. Really appreciated their help in that situation. After all that had happened, I went to see the wise woman again, and she said to me that I should just light incense every day, and I did that, and she also gave me a spell in case something else happened. She says this spell will, since the guys have been targeting you, and she says if you use this spell it will basically send back any badness that they've inflicted on people, and it will basically come back and hitting them. So basically it was a bit like mirror magic, but except it's more like if they have inflicted any badness on anyone, that karma will come back and hit on them, whereas mirror magic is like if someone curses you, you're deflecting the magic back onto the cursor. But now that I've applied the foundation, I'm going to stop talking about what happened now, because I feel like this is a bit much for one day and I don't want to overwhelm you guys, so I'll tell you the rest of the story later. There's not much left to go, believe me, and hopefully we'll get through the last of it in the next video. So now that the foundation has applied, I'm going to be applying the Love and Kisses by Technique blusher. So now that the blusher has been applied, I'm going to be applying the Revolution Translucent Baking Powder. Now that the powder has been applied, I'm going to be applying this grey shade here from the Love and Kisses eyeshadow palette by Technique, which I got out of an advent calendar. So now that the eyeshadow has been applied, I'm going to be applying this little Technique mini mascara that I also got out of an advent calendar. Now that the mascara has been applied, I'm going to be applying the Dream Lip Gloss from the Revolution Butterfly collection. Now that the lip gloss has been applied, that is my makeup look complete. I hope you have enjoyed this video today, my sweetie children. If you did, then please like this video, comment down below, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to click on the notification bell so that you will be notified when my next video comes out. Share this video, and also don't forget to follow me on my socials, linked down below. I'm on Twitter and I'm on Patreon, and if you could follow me on Twitter and become a Patreon of mine, I'd be very grateful for that. On my Patreon I do psychic readings, which are tarot card readings. If you are interested in getting a tarot card reading from me, then please become a Patreon of mine. Also, I do have private readings available, which are a mixture of tarot, child messages from spirit and scrying. So if you would like a private reading from me, readings are £30 and there's an email that you can contact me on, which is linked in the description down below. So that is everything from me today, my spooky children. I hope you have enjoyed this video today, and goodbye.